Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to talk about Bruno Mars recently released the lead single to his new album that's coming out, and it's caused a lot of buzz online of a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people not happy with it, to the extent where he even responded to what people were saying about him. But overall too, since Bruno Mars, I don't know if you've been aware, but he's the second biggest and most listened to artist on Spotify right now if we're talking about monthly listeners. He is number 2 in the world. Only 2 million listeners short to The Weeknd, so he's actually going to overtake The Weeknd actually. And having that amount of influence on the industry, I feel like also branches out into a more broader conversation with this new single that he released, which I want to talk about as well. But first and foremost, the song's called I Just Might, and I'll play as much as I can without getting copyrighted.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
So a song about meeting a girl on the dance floor who apparently has a
crazy vibe.
Apparently a vibe that he's never seen before, and hoping that she could dance, especially.
Because what good is beauty if your booty can't find the beat?
Your booty can't find the beat.
Okay, but no matter if you like the song or not, or if you're a Bruno guy or not a Bruno guy, I think it's safe to say, like, everyone can admit, like, this is the Bruno Mars formula. Like, regardless if you like the song or not. This throwback, retro, clean funk that's safe for radio and mass appeal that just factually he has been doing for years. Vague lyrics about finding a girl and dancing with her, which most people can self-insert and to imagine themselves in that story for mass appeal. It's a very relatable topic, which is a reason why you see it in so many songs, and especially even Bruno Mars songs. And you know, no hate at all to anyone who likes the song and enjoys it. That's not what this is about. But my main thoughts and key takeaway when I heard this is that Bruno Mars is just playing it safe for a surefire radio hit. Nothing more, nothing less, kinda. Which I feel like because he knows that this formula works is the main reason that he's even doing it again, as opposed to like a, you know, true passion to want to explore in his sound. And I feel like it kind of shows in the quality of the sound sonically, which makes it just feel way less authentic than even songs where he's done this clean funk sound with much more passion. And you know, for Bruno Mars, even if you're not that big of a fan of him personally and his sound, he has created, like, objectively, like, so much more interesting songs than this, that you could tell like his heart was in it. But listening to this, it really does just feel like clocking in at the shift, like clocking in to your cubicle 9 to 5 in the studio. I just don't get the feeling from listening to this that his heart is even in making music. Because this is something I could confidently say of Bruno Mars's ability. He could do this in a day. He could write a vague song about dancing, meeting a girl at the club, do all this instrumentation, which he's very much explored before. He's a multi-instrumentalist. I'm pretty sure he could play everything. Bass, guitar, drums. This is totally 24-hour work, if not 2 or 3 days for him. And this is the lead single of his new album, which he hasn't dropped an album in like years. So just for me personally, when an artist is playing it safe and doing something purposely because they know it'll succeed commercially, that's just not really that interesting to me. And I feel like even for fans of Bruno Mars, like, you should be wanting more. Like, you should be expecting more from him sonically. I know with all the bands and artists that I love, like, you know, even if I love a sound that they're currently doing, I can't wait for them to like explore different sounds, grow as an artist. Like, that's what I look forward to in following the artists that I love. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next, what like genre they're going to explore next. And there's more I want to add to that. But first, I want to take a look at what people were saying, which is a little bit more harsh than my general takeaway, but I still think gets to like kind of the core of what I'm talking about. So this was the biggest tweet about this. This is what I mean when people have been like really talking about this to the extent where it reached Bruno Mars. So 14 million views, 220,000 likes of a tweet saying he's been releasing the same song for the past 10 years. And you know, to be fair, I mean, this is like the classic like engagement bait tweet, you know. No, Bruno Mars has not been releasing like the same song for the past 10 years. Obviously, that's hyperbole on purpose and doesn't have a lot of weight to it. Even in the last year of the collabs that he's done between that Apata song, Die With A Smile, and my favorites,
Fat, Juicy, and Wet with Sexy Red.
That good kitty, making my pet.
all of those have very different and distinct sounds. Now, what you can say, which I think would be legit, is that he has a problem with playing it safe for an uncomfortable amount of time. So I think that would be an accurate thing to say, but other people were doing this too. This is another huge tweet. 5 million views, 50,000 likes, just rinse and repeat, showing 4 examples. And you know, you gotta be honest with this. You know, on the surface, like looking at the overall like aesthetic, I guess, that he's going for, this kind of does look bad. You know, this is all like very similar aesthetics that he's going for. And I think it's safe to say that Bruno Mars has like done this retro throwback funk like aesthetic very like one too many times, safe to say. Like you could even see visually with these music videos. But even if this looks bad on the surface, which is the reason I think probably this got the most amount of likes, these are not songs that sound that similar. Like if we're really talking about it, Die With a Smile sounds nothing like the latest single. Smoking Out the Window, it's more similar, but I think that's still distinct of a sound enough where you can't say that it's just rinse and repeat. However though, something I do think is legit is I Just Might feels like such a worse version of Treasure and everything that Treasure was. And I'm not a Bruno Mars guy, but Treasure is a legit song. Like Treasure honestly is just a solid song. It's got a great bass line, great melodies, and there's such a difference, I feel like, in the sound where you can feel like his heart was in it, that he actually cares about the music that he's putting out and has something to prove, which is the exact opposite feeling that I get from I Just Might. That just feels like clocking in.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself.
Immediately, such a more interesting progression, and that guitar sounds so much smoother. Great funk guitar, bass line is just ripping. Such a groovy bass line, the drums have punch to them, and his voice has punch and passion. I honestly feel like this is night and day to the latest single. You know, I listen to Treasure and I'm thinking, that takes a while to come up with. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's taking at least weeks, months to like fully master as a song. I Just Might, a day, 2 to 3 days tops. But as I said at the start of this video, Bruno actually responded to this, and you know, for some unknown reason, I don't know why, but this was like a legit reply that he first tweeted and then deleted on the tweet that I read out earlier of he's just been releasing the same song for the past 10 years. He responds back, "And you never been shit in yo life." Heart emoji, affection emoji, it seems. And then this video shows that he shortly deleted it afterwards and it's not popping up in the replies anymore. I mean, you know, I'm not faulting him for that though. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I get it more than everyone. You know, I'm streaming, dealing with the stream chat. At a certain point, you just gotta say to these people,
Shut the fuck up.
you know, especially because this original tweet, it's not like this was like constructive criticism. It's not like this was like constructive, like a review or thoughts and like someone giving like their, you know, genuine feelings out of a meaningful place. Like this is a rage bait tweet. It's like it completely is a rage bait tweet. Even if there's some truth to it, that this song is very derivative to Bruno Mars's previous work and he needs to evolve his sound some more. I mean, this is just factually not true. He's been releasing the same song for the past 10 years. So, you know, if you're gonna say an inflammatory thing about someone, expect an inflammatory response. And that's kind of like a big problem with people on Twitter. They will like put out like a huge tweet, like over exaggerating something, and then they'll get it like a rude response back matching their energy. And then they'll be like, "Oh, what's your problem, man? What's your issue? I was just giving constructive criticism." Like, no, you weren't. Like, just be honest about what it is. You're just putting out some like engagement rage bait tweet, and then they'll play victim and like act surprised.
Like, wow, Bruno Mars is really crashing out. That's like a quote that they'll say.
But of course, just how there's people giving their negative thoughts, there's people defending and giving their positive thoughts. So this is one person. This new gen absolutely has no morals or respect. They're straight up hateful for no reason. Bruno Mars is an artist who stays out of drama and only focuses on his craft, yet they're still hating on him just to favor their own faves. You know what, man? There's some truth to this. Even though, like, talking about the actual, like, sound of the music has nothing to do with, like, Bruno Mars if he stays out of drama. We do need to talk about pop stan Twitter, okay? These people are crazy, okay? They will say the worst, most craziest thing about you under the guise of, like, defending their pop star, which they call their faves. There's a whole lingo to it. Like, I've seen some crazy things people say about just like Billie Eilish's appearance, just as like an attempt to like defend Olivia Rodrigo. Like, at least Olivia Rodrigo didn't have an eating disorder at 11 years old. That's why she makes better music, and that's why she's my fave. It's a different world out there. Do not enter stan Twitter. But to cap this off, even though people were being inflammatory, I think there is like a core truth to this, and this does play, of course, into this broader conversation of what it takes to maintain at the top, sadly. And Bruno Mars is just like that latest example, since like now being the #1 artist in the world on Spotify. What that just furthers is just this idea that to maintain at the top, to maintain to getting streams, is just playing it safe and is the antithesis of wanting to grow as an artist, wanting to expand your sound, not exactly rinse and repeating, but just playing it so crazy safe that I'm not even convinced Bruno Mars cares about music anymore. That might sound like an extreme statement on the surface of it, but does this, like, looking at his discography and the songs that he's came out with or been featured on, he's running his career like a business. Like, this is not an artist who's running his career as like someone who's genuinely concerned about like his music and like evolving his sound. He is running it like a business. He's working with the right songwriters, he's collabing with the right people, and doing such non-offensive songs that he knows will just be, you know, background supermarket songs. And of course, this isn't anything new or anything that Bruno Mars started specifically. This has been happening for decades now, you could debatably say. I just think it sucks, and I think it's always something worth calling out on and pointing out, and it's going to take a trailblazer who's someone who's simultaneously a big artist to try to break down this barrier, break down the standard, which the only person I could see right now who's at that same level of popularity is someone like Billie Eilish or like Chappell Roan. And although he's not really in the same category of popularity as these two, the reason why Tyler the Creator is as praised as he is because he's the exact opposite of this, while still amazingly keeping a crazy amount of popularity amongst just like mass polls and being on top of charts and connecting with so many people despite constantly changing his sound, constantly changing his image, actually truthfully showing that he's an artist interested in the sound of his work and not running his career like a business. So yeah, that's why it's mainly the most disappointing for me, even though I'm not really like that much of a fan of Bruno Mars. It's what it further perpetuates just overall in the industry. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it's worthy to bring up. Let me know your thoughts about the same thing. Hope you appreciate the consistent uploads, because we're back with the consistent uploads, and 2026 going to be a great year. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, like it. There's a video right here similar if you want to, you know, watch some more videos. That'd be super cool. I appreciate all the support lately. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.